Hello, everybody. Good news. Well, I always say good news when I start these videos where I just talk off the cuff about my week because whenever you, yeah, have a goal and do your best, that's always good news. And the good news of this week is that I'm making mostly mental progress in the sense of I tend to plan a lot of things. I tend to do a lot of busy work, planning, overthinking, stuff like that. And slowly but surely, I'm moving forward with that and simplifying things over and over. And this week, I'm very close to start. Actually, we already scheduled the beginning of my partnership with my calisthenics coach friend that we are partnering up together to make an online offer. He only has a calisthenics center in person, of course, and that takes his whole day. It takes all of his time to run. All of his time is invested in his calisthenics center and his personal life. Of course, he has very little time for his personal life, and he works his ass off, and he didn't have any space to create this online offer. So that's where I came in. That's where I came in and started to help. We go way back, and that's why he decided to work with me. He already had offers from other people that wanted to help, but he never took those offers because he always thought that to if he were going to invest time and effort in that, it will be with me, because I helped him. I guided him a little bit. Everything is credit to him on all of his success, but I did give him some guidance in terms of creating. He took my word for it and he acted on it with no second guessing about my ideas, theory, thoughts, everything. He didn't need any testimonials, and he found a lot of success. That's why I felt so confident about doing this helping with fitness coaches. But then I had a bad experience with a client where he second guessed everything I said, and I thought from that first experience with my friend, with all of that success, I thought, oh, this is great, this is easy to do. You just tell people, the fitness coaches, what to do, they'll do it and get the results. But when results don't happen overnight, they second guess everything, and I failed at staying my ground, telling what I know without much proof. The tough part was to say, no, this is the way, even though there's no results. This is the only way, this is how it works. And it's tough for someone to believe you when they technically, that's the thing, they didn't do the things I told them with precision. Therefore, it wasn't what I told them, and that's why he didn't have results. But there's a lot of responsibility in me to be assertive in those directions and point out any mistakes or any lack of precision. If that's the issue, my responsibility is telling them, dude, you're not doing that exactly as I'm telling you, precisely as I'm telling you. That's why you won't get results. And so yeah, I struggled with that, with being more assertive with my direction. So I kept changing the game plan over and over. I wanted to make everything so easy for him that it crossed the line of this cannot be easier. There's a certain point that you have to put some certain effort and time to it, just like training, working out. There's a minimum amount of time and effort, intensity that you need to do to have some progress. I can make everything easier for you up to a certain point, and that's where I failed. I went over that point when it cannot be any easier than that. And maybe my job was to reassure that that's the way, or reassure that that's the way. And if he was willing to commit to the price, because you have the money price, which is paying me for the help, and then the time and effort price of this, the minimum you have to do, which is, it's somewhat high if you don't have some pillars in place, like being a great coach, which he was. The evidence for that is that he kept getting clients over every single month out of referrals. That's a sign that he's a great coach. So only with that, you should have the confidence to to share all of the knowledge and stories that you have, because you have proof that you've helped dozens, if not hundreds of people, and you know how valuable fitness is for people that do not value it yet, and how it will change their lives. So whenever he did videos, he did without any energy whatsoever. Which I didn't pick up on, and I cannot believe how I didn't notice that, and that the problem was that, not necessarily because at first I was writing the scripts for him, which is a mistake in some sense, because it's so, for me, at least from my perspective, it's so easy to talk about fitness, how it's amazing, and I can think of 10 ideas on the spot to talk about. Obviously, they might not be the best ideas to share on Instagram for it to reach a lot of people, but at least they are great ideas for it, for any person that magically sees the video. So if that's the minimum required to share the video, which that's what I was trying to communicate, that at least be proud of the video that you create. And if you talk with a lot of evidence, if you talk with a lot of emotion and energy that you know comes from a lot of knowledge and evidence that you're great, and that it'll help most people, like, just share your idea, don't overcomplicate it. But I don't want to be a hypocrite when I overcomplicate a lot of stuff, overthink a lot of stuff in my life, just because I don't overthink some stuff. I always try to be empathetic with that. That's why I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and work together, instead of me just being 100% assertive. That's why with my friend I was that way, and he's a very humble guy. I'm kind of saying that this other coach that I failed with helping, he didn't have that, at least that amount of humbleness, because with my friend I said everything in a, I don't know how to say it, in a, like, questioning my own things to see if he came up with a perspective that made the idea even better. If he didn't, he just believed it and said, okay, sounds logical, let's do it. Instead of me being, this is the thing you have to do because of this is the thing that tends to work, maybe it won't, but if it won't, we can do this other stuff, but let's try this one first. If I say that to someone that does not believe that much in the process, he will second guess it, exactly how my other fitness coach who I failed helping thought about. But my friend who is the most humble guy that I know, and very hardworking. Every time I said stuff like that, he either picked up on something that made it better, and if he didn't, which was most of the time because I had way more knowledge than him. He just said, "Okay, let's do it. If it doesn't work, I'll do the other thing, but I'll do this one 1,000% with 1,000% effort." And most times it worked in the first time, and yeah, we just kept everything so simple. He created from the heart with good intentions, and he blew up. I tried to replicate that with the other coach. It didn't happen, and I felt that showing why that matters, or why that's the only way. So yeah, the way I'll do that from now on is being assertive, but most importantly, first creating the content myself and attracting clients that way. Uh, the way I got this, let's call it second client, or well, my friend wasn't a client. I just helped him. So this fitness coach who I failed to help was my first client. So that how I got that first client was that I reached out to him, and that was like the first mistake. I won't be pursuing any clients. I'll be creating content to attract the people that want to hear what I gotta say and do what I tell them to do, or will value what I have to say and be willing to work with me together as a team with humbleness, respect, and valuing each other's perspectives. But when it's time to work, just following the plan. And if people come to me, the chances of that happening are way higher, and I can reject the clients myself if I see the same patterns that I saw in my first client. So that's the way. And this is the cherry on top. Let's say I'll be doing the things that I preach. So I'll be way more assertive. I'll be leading with the example. When I say just create from the heart with good intentions to help the people you know you can help the most, just create. Don't overthink. Stop with any bullshit and just do it. And if I'm doing that on my own content and getting clients that way, I can tell them, dude, just shut up. Look, it works for me. It works for my friend. And if I have other clients that also work for them, I'll tell them, dude, it works. Shut up, do it, or don't do it, and stop paying me. And that's it. I want to have that energy. So yeah, that's what I will do. I'll close the video. I'll end the video right now. Thank you for watching the entire video, and I'll see you next week.